Hello, Matthew Williams here. Quick video to say, what's the date? It's the 10th. What's the 10th? Well, it's 3 days from VP Day. What's VP Day? Well, like victory in Europe, you know, with the forces that came in and took away the fucking clutches of Nazi fascist Germany. Now we've got VP Day, which is the 13th, which is victory from Pietro. VP, victory from Pietro Day. VP, which will be the day that Pietro is denied his planning and told to sling his fucking hook regarding the stupid situation that's going on in the barge. Now, if some of you noticed, on the 6th of December, which was after the consultation date had expired, the ecology section of the council, which, you know, they're not sort of tied by that consultation date because they're obviously internal to the council, but they sent a notice through saying that it was acknowledged that they hadn't followed the planning when it came to looking after the animals, i.e. the birds, the bats, that were supposed to be taken care of in building the barn. None of the recommendations, well, it wasn't a recommendation, it was actually an order that they had to look after the ecology of the area by providing a new place for the bats and the swallows to nest. And considering they were nesting in the old barn, they had to be given provision to nest in the new one. And they weren't given provision to nest in the new barn. And the ecology says that this should be taken care of. And by taken care of, I would imagine enforced, which means that they're going to have to make provisions for swallows to nest and make provisions for bats. And guess what? The old building had a space called the void. It was the void. And Mr. MacGyver and Pietro and co actually built a fucking floor in the void space, which was meant to be a void. You know, a void in the barn, meaning like an open space in the barn, because the old barn was a barn. It was actually a barn, you see, which little creatures like bats and swallows can get into, because barns aren't usually like sort of airtight secured, because they're not a house. They're not houses. Barns are not houses, you see. So yeah, they may be asked to put that back, which will mean maybe taking away the mezzanine flooring. I don't know, maybe taking away that mezzanine floor and having to provide a space for the birds and the swallows to get into. It's going to be interesting times, isn't it, if that gets enforced, because that'll mean ripping out whole sections of floor as well, you know. So it'll be interesting. But anyway, we've got 3 days. It's just 3 days till the fascists are removed. And just like Mussolini, you know, another fascist dictator in Italy, which I'm sure Pietro should know all about, a fascist dictator called Mussolini, who was executed by his own people and hung up by his feet. Yes, him and his missus, you know, his wife and him were both executed, shot dead, and hung up by the peasants by their feet. Funny that, isn't it? Yeah, I think history may be repeating itself soon. So, thanks very much for watching.